Good afternoon, everybody. This is Pixis Designs. I've been meaning to do this video for like the last week. This thing's been done for about a week and a half. The prototype, anyways. I've had so much stuff in my shop that I needed to get shipped out. It was just a complete mess, and I had no access to my worktop, any other worktops. They were all just cluttered with pieces, so I wasn't able to find a good spot for this thing to rest while I was able to make a video. Now I do. I just shipped out a bunch of stuff today, and I was able to clear some room so I can actually finally do this video. I'm really excited about this. I've actually been laying little pieces of information on my YouTube video about doing a pretty much basically a wide body Wraith. But a guy had reached out to me wanting to do a cargo hauler, and so I made this to be able to fit probably about 8 characters in the back. You can also fit 2 rams side by side in the back. Everything's going to be modular in the back to be able to also or do a ram and 4 characters on one side. Well, I'll show you the video of that. I'll show you that here in a minute. So anyways, I just kind of went out all in this. I tried to add as many bits and pieces and noodles and bobs to this thing as I possibly could really bring out detail in it. And I feel like this is probably my best item yet. Suffice it to say, I spent quite a bit of time on trying to figure this thing out. It's actually got opening doors. The characters can slip in up to a certain size. Your gung hos, you're not going to be able to slip in there, but this right over here is actually the infantry, the male version of the Steel Corps, and I was able to get him in on this side. So anything up to the beachhead type size you can fit inside this door to fit inside the cockpit. And of course, like I said, it's side by side. To get an idea on how much bigger this is compared to, say, my Wraith XL or any of my Wraiths. This is the normal. Let me get him out of the way. Bye bye, gung ho. So this is the normal size of the cockpit, the single cockpit. So it's about almost a little over 3¼ inches wider overall. Well, yeah, double that. Okay, so basically what I did is I split this thing in half, and I added another 3½ inches to both sides. So, yeah, details, they're hard. So anyways, yeah, I was finally able to model in some door hinges in here. That took a little bit of work to figure out. I'll pull my phone off the boom here in a minute to try and show this out, but right now I need my hands. So yeah, doors open and closed. Obviously you're going to have the acrylic glass. This is my prototype. There's holes in it. There's not supposed to be holes in it. I just kind of forgot to set a layer and it cut through it. So, but it's going to have a reticle for, say, like a gunner, kind of like a HUD, you know. And I've got the altitude bars up on the acrylic, and the I guess it's the left and right. I don't know what. I'm not a pilot. The bar that shows you where you are degrees-wise going left and right. So, yeah, so that's that. Some of this probably isn't going to make any sense. Through turbines up here, you really don't need the turbines, but it's just detail added. I'm sure there's going to be comments, why do you have these up here when you've got, you know, the fans, you know, whatever. Suspend your disbelief, or suspend your belief, suspend your imagination, whatever. So, As I was doing this up and had a big old cavity inside the back, this guy that I was kind of, going back and forth with about said that he would like to have like a drop-in piece to go in the bay door. Just kind of close it off. So in my mind, I was thinking, why don't I just take that a step further and make it a sliding door? It's not easy, by the way, but this thing can be slid. Just like that. So this took me about a good solid 8 iterations to try and get it to work right. Because mainly what's going to have to end up happening is this needs to be able to be popped out easily, but I also need it to be fixed pretty good in there so it doesn't fall out whenever this guy's taking pictures or whoever actually has it in the future. So let me try and do this again here. I'm actually trying to pop this thing out here. There we go. So that comes out like that. So it's just 2 little pieces. So they notch in on the inside here and here. So there's that. So this will be coming with both sides that are able to do that. Again, this is the prototype model. While I was modeling this up and printing everything, it only dawned on me towards the very end that I kind of forgot to add my little wings on the back. So this will have the same wings that my regular Wraiths have as well. So don't forget that this will be on here. That's why I could kind of conclude that this is going to be mine to keep at the house. Unless somebody wants to reach out to me and actually buy this version right here, which I'll be more than happy to sell it. I mean, everything works great on it, great for pictures, great for setting up for your action figures and stuff like that. It's going to have MOLLE panels on the inside, in the middle. You can actually go back to a few of my dogs are going crazy out there. Sorry about that. So anyways, the production version is going to have a seat that can actually snap in. Mine, I didn't go deep enough into the plastic, and I ended up chamfering the legs, and I thought that it would be deep enough to be able to sit in there and not move around. I was wrong. So I ended up having to go deeper on the holes on the production version to be able to snap the bench seat in there. The bench seats do have seat belt holes if you would like to kind of twine something in their laps to make sure that they can fit, and I'll show that here in a minute. And of course, this version will also still have the line, the hoist line that slides in and out. For some reason, I need to go open. I need to be a little more looser on my tolerance on this because I wasn't able to get this to slide in, so I can't have this one on this one. But this will actually slide out just like my other Wraith. And it'll come all the way out past the ramp section. Okay, and then of course it will also be coming with the gun attachment as well. I will be supplying a gun attachment for both sides in case you want to have the guns, showing just like this on both sides. It looks pretty cool if you ask me. One caveat to being able to have 4 characters all the way across is there is very little headroom as far as this top plate goes. Again, this actually does slide in to where you can close the bay doors. There's a piece right here. Let's see if I can get these MOLLE panels out of here. And they fit backpacks, right? Cool. Place these aside, and this whole center section will actually come out. It's held in with H clips, That way you can snap it in and out and use them whenever you need them. And these are the things that slide out. So that way when you're able to, I do not have, what did I do with it? I have no idea. So yeah, it'll be coming with 2 of these as well. 2 of the hoists as well as 2 of the gun holders. And I guess I can now detach my phone from my boom. So there's the seatbelt holders. And again, the seat will be removable. And to kind of show, oh, and also MOLLE panels. Let me get a flashlight. Ugh. Where did I put it? Here you are. So kind of showed off in there. So MOLLE panels at the very front. And there's a little thing to hold miscellaneous things that you want to hold, I guess. Yeah, let's see. I got all these little pieces here. So I actually made this. You'll be getting 4 of these. 4 of these weapon containers. And they go underneath it. These do open up, by the way. I just don't sell them anymore because they're kind of a pain to make. Then you'll get 4 on the other side with you'll be getting two benches, 4 weapons containers. And you can actually fit quite a bit of these in here for displaying different types of things. So you can see there's a lot of room in there. And to get a better idea of how much room is in there, you got the RAM cycle. And you can fit 2 RAM cycles. With a Gatling gun attached. So obviously, you know, you'd have to pull that out, but besides that. So again, you can take this one out. I can't. I can't take this one out because I glued it in because it needs to stay in place. But the actual production version, you'll be able to snap these seats out and be able to just fit a whole lot of stuff in there if you need to. So yeah, let me get these out of the way. Trying to show some of the detail in here. I don't know how easy that's going to be. Of course, there's 2 yokes. There's a little bit of artifacting in here with the 3D printing. This thing, the way this thing printed, I'll actually be showing a video of it printing at the beginning of this video to show how I had to orientate this thing. This thing pretty much took up the whole entirety of my XL going up at a 45-degree angle. So there was I expected some artifacting here because of the way it spans this bridge. But right up here, when you're only hanging on to maybe 1 inch of material down here all the way up, there was a little bit of artifacting on this too. So for my full version, I've actually gave this thing a belly button. So that way when it's printing up at a 45-degree angle, it's also got a support tower going up about 1 inch wide, going all the way up to the middle of the body. That way it supports the weight of it as it's printing. So hopefully I won't have any of that banding issue for the next version. Again, this was done on my two print head XL. Some of these details were not, but this was all done on the XL. That's a glued on detail, glued on detail, glued on detail, glued on detail. That is printed on the XL. That's printed on the XL. So some of these are glued on. Some of these were actually printed with the body. These were all printed on the XL just because of the sheer length of them. And other than that, nothing's really changed between this and my regular Wraith that I usually do. Most of the components are the same. So I kind of feel like the fans need to be bigger, especially the motors, just given the size of this thing. But if I went to a bigger fan on this thing, it's already too big as it is. It measures about 24 inches long, and oddly enough, 25 inches long, 24 inches wide. So that kind of shows how much room it is. And again, I do have, with one of the other videos I showed at the very beginning with me playing with it out in the backyard, zip ties do fit through this spot here and through this spot here. So if one wanted to, they can actually hang this from some kind of a shelf system that's up top, or hanging it from the ceiling, or whatever they want to do. Sorry, I just accidentally turned off my phone here for a second. I don't know how I did that. And also for those that have seen some other stuff, you'll see some reuse here. This is actually used on my Snowcat. This is actually used on my Wraith XL. This is used on my Shockwave Ripsaw. This is used on my Ripsaw Hiss tank that I produce, that I no longer produce, especially since they now actually have a Hiss tank being released. So I kind of use some, I mean, when you've already programmed a lot of these assets, it's nice and handy to be able to reutilize them for other functions. So it definitely brings out a lot of the detail in the way this thing looks. So, and again, there's supposed to be a wing here as well, so that'll be on the production version. This just kind of reached out to me at my shop, Etsy, Pixis Designs. If you'd like to be put on the list for this, I will probably make this the definitive version of my Wraith. I'm probably no longer going to be making the XL, the X, and just the regular Wraith, just because it gets kind of to be a lot. I know there's probably people out there that want to go the cheaper route and just like buy the Wraith. And if you do want it, just reach out to me. It's obviously not going to be as good as what this thing is, but it will be there. I just won't be putting up in my shop anymore. This will be the end all be all. As long as I'm not run off of a list, you know, this will end up being the only thing that's out there in my shop. So just reach out to me and say, hey, can I be put on the list for the Super Wraith? Got a name, guys. That's a Super Wraith. The guy that I'm talking to about making this with, he kind of said, well, you know, you got like the Super Hornet and Super Bee. That was the definitive version of the final version. That's what this is going to be. This is going to be called the Super Wraith. So got a name for it. This is it. I hope to not make any more changes to this thing. I think it's pretty cool. It works. Yeah, that's it. Anyways, I will leave it at that. This is Pixis Designs signing out.